Hello, 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 everyone. All right, so we are continuing on in our quest of emotional intelligence study and learning exactly what emotional intelligence, or EQ as it's called, is. So, before we go any further, I am Mia Juliana. I am a health coach and I work with emotional wellness coaching. I focus on relieving stress and overcoming anxiety for career professionals and helping them find that work life balance through emotional intelligence and habit change. So, what emotional intelligence is. We studied that a couple of days ago, and I'm just bringing you some quick, short nuggets here this week to help you learn a little bit more about emotional intelligence. I'm setting a timer so I don't go too far over today. But we are learning what emotional intelligence is and how it affects us internally on an introspective level and what it does to those relationships around us once we have focused and worked on ourselves. So, if you want to see more about the basics of EQ, there's an intro video and there's also a video titled Self Awareness. This video is going to focus on self management. And our last video will be about, our last two videos will be about social awareness and relationship management. So, self management today is really going to be focusing on how we manage the negative and positive effects of our emotions. And what we want to take note from today, and feel free to take notes from this information as well, so that you can have it for your daily life, whether you're an entrepreneur or a career professional, healthcare professionals, any type of career professional out there. Take notes of these things and see them work as you work with clients, customers, patients, whatever your career path may be. But self management tags onto the first key of the four key pillars, which was self awareness, and self management is the second, which really helps you look into the negative effects of your emotions and the positive effects of your emotions. If you deal and sit in a lot of anger or distress or doubt, then those things have effects. Not only do they have effects on how you deal with other people, they have effects on you internally. Those things can wear down on your body, they wear down on your mental state, which eventually is going to break down your central nervous system and cause for things like illness and disease and bacterial growth that could hurt and harm you to form. So, really, really knowing that there's another way to walk through life is key and critical. So I want to bring this information to my audience so that you all can know what emotional intelligence is, because about 99% of you, when you came into the group and answered the questions, you put that you're just getting started with emotional intelligence. In other words, you don't really know a whole lot. So I'm bringing these short nuggets of videos to you this week, to let you know what emotional intelligence is. So, moving along in the self management portion, I mentioned anger briefly as a negative effect. Sitting in anger or doubt is what I said. But really, when you have poor self management, you are that person that could lose your temper really easily. You are that person that might get road rage. You are that person in that moment that, something's not going your way. You're taking your arm across the whole desk and just, uh, throwing everything on the floor because that's the tantrum that you have to go through in that point in time. Someone that has more healthy self management, their peers and colleagues are going to see them as more trustworthy and more confident because they can handle, okay, there's this rage going on in my brain right now, but I'm going to deal with this a little bit differently. Let me go inside of myself, figure out what caused me to get so upset. And now I need to walk through that and get on the other side of how can I manage this rage and anger that is really, really, really pissing me off, but I have to find a way to manage that better. That could be leaving your desk at work and going to the courtyard and getting a breath of fresh air. That could be, you know what, I'm going to take my lunch early. I'm going to go and just go for a drive, go get a smoothie or whatever the case may be. Going to the break room and getting a drink of water. Sometimes some people need to get out of the four walls or out of the corporate building and feel the breath of fresh air. Or, you know, if you're pretty bold and don't mind, you know, do a quick vinyasa flow of yoga, which is one of my specialties. Just kind of, you know, get in that downward dog position, go down to your chaturanga, do an upward dog, come back up, breathe it out to downward dog, and oh my gosh, that can work so many wonders. Just that one sun salutation, just to give your body kind of a reset. Listen to some motivational talks. YouTube has phenomenal ones. Les Brown, Denzel Washington, Jeff Bezos. Oh my gosh, Russell Brunson, like all of those guys. And of course, Oprah Winfrey, Maya Angelou, Toni Morrison. Like there's a ton of them out there that you can kind of get yourself back into that loop of being that positive leader or that positive teammate or positive colleague at work that has that healthier self management. Because now you're learning how to motivate yourself internally versus riding in that anger, that doubt, or that anxiety ridden state and staying there. You're learning how to get yourself out of it. But self management, going over these points here, when you feel loss of control, I mentioned doing the sun salutation. That's part of breath work, but there are other things that you can do that are specifically breath work. And, you know, something simple that we all can do is breathing with deep breaths. So, you know, a long inhale for 4 breaths and exhale. Okay, so that's just a 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So slow, steady breaths, however many times you need to do that until you start feeling better. That will calm your mind and calm your body more than you could ever know. We have the ability to breathe for a reason. So use that breath work to really get your mind and body back into a state of control. Counting to 10. This is a well-known technique to control tempers. And this will help you control what you say before you may say something you'll regret. So that's something that I've seen leaders do when they just kind of they stop and they take that moment to say, oh, excuse me, let me gather myself. You may be thinking, what are they doing? And they're just taking that time to count to 10. And you never know, it could have flustered them, or they could have gotten embarrassed, they could have gotten frustrated, whatever the case may be. But just counting to 10 can help you get back into that state of where you were, wherever your focus was before you were triggered. So learning to use acupressure is a huge one. I love this one. I use this throughout all my pregnancies, and I've used this in my yoga practice, but it really helps to relieve negative emotions. Acupressure is oh my gosh, probably centuries old technique that's been around for a very long time. And you don't have to stick the needles. It's not acupuncture, but it's acupressure. So it's really learning what pressure points to press on to get that release out of the body. And I have a quick video here. So we're going to go over to this video and watch what this doctor has to say.
When you find yourself in a state of stress or high anxiety, there are 3 points that I like to teach patients. When applied pressure to, it can really help to decrease the stress and anxiety that you may be feeling. When you're applying pressure, you want to apply firm yet gentle pressure and hold each point for about 3 minutes. The first one is pericardium 6, and you measure with your 3 fingers below the wrist in between the 2 tendons. The second point is yin tong, which is located in the center of the 2 eyebrows, also known as the third eye. The last point is called Run 17. It's located on the middle of your sternum, in between the two nipples, and I typically like to use my 3 fingers and apply pressure. Firm yet gentle. These points may even feel a bit tender, and that's okay. Remember to hold each point for about 3 minutes, and you can do this circuit as many times as you need, and remember to breathe slowly as you hold the points. Acupressure is effective, it's easy to learn, and it doesn't cost a thing.
So, as you can see just from that short video, she even mentioned, the physician mentioned the importance, so when you, pardon me, the importance of breathing those long, deep breaths. She said, breathe slowly, and she paused because breath work is imperative. Taking that time to calm the mind and body is a huge, huge resource. So, this is something, the point number 4, sleep on it, is something that I've recently been reintroduced to. I do this often, but I didn't realize that this is what I was doing. And sometimes, as I've mentioned in this video and other videos, we are doing emotional intelligence techniques, and sometimes we don't realize that's what we're doing. And that's why everybody has an emotional intelligence score, because some things you're going to do naturally or innately or from what you've been taught growing up, but doing all of these things on a regular, continual basis to grow your EQ and increase your EQ score so that it is really guiding your life and helping you be a better human being. So, but sleeping on it, things are just really better after a good night's sleep. And sometimes for me, it's a couple of good night's sleeps, where I can really just kind of get my mind and my brain intact and figure out whatever that next step is going to be. So sleeping on it is imperative for me to be in a state of calm, in a state of refreshment. That's what it does for me. I was looking for that word. It's refreshing to just kind of take a break, sleep on it, and then come back to it and revisit it later. So, point number 5 is talking to a mentor who's an effective self manager. This is something that, if you watched my interview with Demetrius on Monday of this week, he and I really spoke about the power of therapy, the power of having a pastor or somebody in a clergy position that you can speak to, or even having a coach, which is something that I do, and having that person as your strategist and that person that can also help you be held accountable to your actions, somebody that can give you candid feedback, someone that can help you kind of get a roadmap and a guide to your unique situation and how to be better. So seek advice, and when you seek that advice, use it, right? So when in doubt, always smile or laugh. People who are great self-managers, they don't really walk around with RBF. If you don't know what RBF is, just Google it. But people who are really good at self management definitely smile and laugh often. It really causes a shift in your mood psychologically that you don't even realize. And there's a technique that I've been taught, oh my gosh, 20 years ago, that if you're on a phone call, this was before video chat. So if you're on a phone call and you're smiling, the person can feel your smile on the other end of the phone without seeing your face. And so smiling is a huge psychological benefit. So taking care of your body by exercising, being healthier. A well-disciplined body will give you great vitality and longevity of life. So I believe in some type of cardio that's going to make me feel good. I still like to box. I still like to kickbox. I also enjoy yoga. I also enjoy Zumba, and I enjoy going for walks. So I mix it up because that's my personality. I like to mix up things and not just do one thing all the time for the duration of 365 days in a year. Like I like to mix things up. So that keeps my mind healthy and rejuvenated and refreshed. But also my body is getting exercise, and I did it through all three pregnancies as well. So it just keeps that mind body flow revitalized and healthier. So the last point on self management is to remind yourself daily that others are not intentionally trying to hurt you 90% of the time. Most of the time, they're oblivious to the hurt that their words are causing. And I see this firsthand all the time. Clients have told me things that have happened with colleagues, and I've seen it in family. I see it all the time. Like a lot of people don't realize that their words have such a strong impact. And my studies are not just me putting together PowerPoints. This is from reading. I wish you could see this desk. I have 10 books on this desk just right here. Like I'm reading, I'm researching, I'm getting facts. Like this is not some, oh, Mia, you're so sensitive. Words are not that big of a deal, because that's what I was taught growing up. They are, and if you're Christian, it's even in the Bible. But just to let you know that a lot of times people are oblivious to the way their words can be cutting. People are oblivious to the way that their words can uplift. People are oblivious to the way that their words can make you laugh. That happened to me at the dentist last Thursday. I had to go to the dentist, and myself and the dental assistant, as I have like this huge mouth guard in my mouth, the dental assistant told the dentist, like, Dr. Rosa, you were so funny when you said X, Y, and Z. And Dr. Rosa said, I wasn't trying to be funny. And the dental assistant said, that's what made it so funny. Like you didn't even realize what you were doing. A lot of times people don't realize what their words are doing, but their words are still happening. The stuff is still coming out of their mouth, right? So when it comes to, aside from someone being funny, if someone is hurting you, 9 times out of 10, they aren't intentionally doing it. They are oblivious to the fact of how strong their words are, because they don't realize that you're not a one size fits all. You're unique, right? You are unique. And the way that you interpret their words and your perception of their words is going to be different from Sally, Jim, Bob, and Harry, right? So it's up to you to get into that space of self management and realize, okay, they were kind of a jerk in what they said, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they don't really realize what they're saying can be hurtful, and I'm going to manage my own emotions and walk right on through that. Like I could stay here and get pissed off, but I realize they are the trigger. They are the ignorance. I'm moving right on past that, right? So those are your tips for self-management as far as it comes to emotional intelligence and your EQ. So these things will help you increase your EQ more. And if you'd like to learn more from me, I do have a workshop masterclass coming up soon, and you will find that link down below. Join me there. I would love to have you in that class. We do some Q&A, so you can ask some questions and get some more deep dive learning in that class from this free course that I've just given you. And if you'd like to go even deeper and have more time with me, then I'll put the link for that below as well. So you all have a great rest of your day. Be sure to click like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all in the next video.